Good morning. It's April 11th, 10 o'clock. All three county commissioners here. I ask that we rise for a moment of silent meditation and then a pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. We have a new Assistant County Administrator. Hi, how you doing? Can we have the consents and approvals?
Yes. We have 10 exoneration listings in the amount of $5,656.36. There are no minutes. We have vouchers, General County, $254,705.09, Coal Severance, $1,218.56, Magistrate Court, $259.20, 911, $2,535.97, Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,210.03, Camp Muffley, $127.98, Mason-Dixon Park, $3,450.22, Assessor's valuation, $8,802.06. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $24,660.12. 911, $9,884.55. Home confinement, $6,833. Camp Muffley, $181.68. Mason-Dixon Park, $570.27. Assessor's valuation, $3,167.50, for a total voucher amount for $318,606.23. There are no budget revisions, position vacancies for boards and authorities. There's the Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning Commission, Cheatview PSD, River Road PSD, and Mountain Line Transit Authority. And there are the fiduciary orders for April 11th, 2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. We now will have introduction of new employees, personnel changes. Sheriff Perry Palmer, if you'd like to come on down.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here, dear. Thank you.
We have two new employees. Over here where they can see in case they want to scold you. We have one, Mark Kitzmiller, who'll be part-time civil process. Mark will be making $10.88 an hour with no benefits. And we have Gary Maley, who will be a full-time process transport downstairs with a beginning salary of $2,432.20 per month, for your approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you and welcome.
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 Good to have you.
Hope you're not too busy, but I guess you will be. Yeah, we're easy. Okay, great. Misty, why don't you come on down? You're in here all the time now. That's great. We hire you, and you're glad to see you.
I have two new hires. We have Nicholas Smith. He is going to be an intern, and he will be doing maintenance as well as a lifeguard, as well as office work and kitchen help, kind of a floater. And he will be getting a college credit for that through WVU.
Great.
His salary will be $10 an hour with no benefits, and we're really looking forward to that. We have Danny Pollard. He will be full-time maintenance, $10 an hour, no benefits.
Move for approval.
Second.
Then properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 And just to clarify, did you say full-time? But this says part-time?
Part-time. I meant to say part-time.
All right, that's fine.
He is doing all the jobs, he's doing maintenance. That's right.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Welcome to both of you.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, really glad.
Thanks.
Hopefully it'll stop snowing.
We'll see.
Is there any other introduction? Okay, seeing none, at this time, is there anyone who wants to make comments from the public? Okay, well, we're keeping that same tradition. We will move on, and we have grants. Ms. Cohen,
Okay.
and I hear you have a bunch.
I do. I actually have 2 grant contracts with the governor's community participation. It's for the Mon River Trails Conservancy. The first one is through the House, and it's for $12,500. And the second one is with the Senate, and it's also in the amount of $12,500. So I have those. And then I have requests for reimbursement. The first one is the Day Report Center grant in the amount of $15,119.48. The next one is the VOCA grant in the amount of $5,150.89. I have the Governor's Highway Safety Program Click It or Ticket in the amount of $2,896.77. And another Governor's Highway Safety Grant, it's the impaired driving, in the amount of $5,286.28. And lastly, I have the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $2,252.80.
Move for approval for the president to sign.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll do that a little bit. Great. At this time, we're fortunate to have Kelly Dreher from The Crossings. Many of you might know her from the chamber. If you want to just come down, and I was invited down there to meet with them, and I thought it would be nice for them to just introduce themselves to the community and talk, give what you'd like to say.
Sure. Good morning. Thank you for the invitation, Commissioners. We appreciate it. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for The Crossings here at Morgantown. We would like to formally ask for an opportunity to present at your next working session, a more in-depth presentation as to who we are and who we aren't. But just a general flavor, we're an independent assisted living and memory care community located at 2996 Point Marion Road. We are currently under construction, but we are actively doing tours for independent living. And we are set to open officially in October, which will then begin the licensure process for our assisted living and memory care community. So that's the general flavor. I didn't know how much time I had, but
You have a little more time if you want, since you see we're packed.
Sure. Didn't want to take anybody's time. So as I mentioned, we're an independent assisted living and memory care community, but there's some unique factors that makes us a little different than the other resources in the community, specifically meaning we don't have a buy-in. There's no large buy-in process to come and live with us. We also are a month-to-month lease. And when we get into the assisted living, we are going to be licensed for 5 levels of care for both assisted living and memory communities. So that kind of sets us different. We also are a resort-style carefree retirement community, and what that means is we have amenities tucked into the month-to-month lease. For example, we will own a caravan, 2 caravans, and 1 bus, and we will work with our residents to schedule transportation. So it takes the burden off the families that may have already been traveling to those doctor appointments. We will have a concierge assigned to them. The concierge's position is to keep them on task, keep them scheduled with their doctor appointments, right down to meeting with friends for lunch. So the whole spectrum is a full service care. We also have weekly housekeeping built into that price point. We have a full state-of-the-art movie theater in the community that all 3 communities can enjoy. Again, that is also an amenity that's absolutely free. We have a bistro and a bar and a pub. So we will be obtaining our ABC license. The first 2 drinks are on us. And so there's a little bit of a regulation there. So when you're in assisted living and memory care, we obviously need a doctor's order stating that alcohol is okay. But we do really focus on carefree retirement living. We tuck a lot of amenities in there to keep things comfortable, worry-free, right down to taking care of the daily tasks. When individuals move into our community, they definitely want to downsize. So for example, if you had, 10 years of cleaning supplies, you might just want to bring a bottle because we're taking care of the cleaning. The storage also is the same way. We'd like them to liquidate. They are not furnished communities, so we encourage them to bring their own furniture. But yeah, there's a lot of amenities tucked into there, and we are actively taking tours. So if there's anybody interested, it is a retirement community. 62 and up is like the targeted audience. However, I just booked a deposit with a 57-year-old man. We made an exception. So, but yeah, that's the crossings at Morgantown. We are very proud to say that our first sister community just opened in Martinsburg. And that's why our executive director is not able to come today. She's there having a lot of fun getting that underway. But if we are invited back to formally present, that will be Tia Hovatter, our executive director.
And you did say that maybe we could possibly schedule, when it gets closer to opening, maybe the three of us going out there.
We'd love to
visit.
have you on a tour,
Okay.
even beforehand. If you want to do a Dusty Boot tour, we'd love to take you guys through. So that way you can see it. March Weston's doing our build. They've been a pleasure to work with. But yeah, we will do a Dusty Boot tour for you.
Perhaps we should
interested.
call our children so that they might be available.
I said maybe after the selection process, they may be.
Yeah.
I just live 2
My
miles
family
away.
might be sending me there. Yeah.
Yeah, stop by and see us. We're the blue trailer at the bottom of the construction site. There's been some confusion. They're driving up to March Weston thinking
Right.
that's our center. We're not going to send them through the construction site.
That's what I do.
So it is, when I say tour, just to be very clear, it is a virtual tour. So we have on our website at the crossings at morgantown.com, there is a virtual tour that you can explore, and it's a pretty accurate rendering
Yeah.
of how we're going to be assembled, with the caveat of they realize that we're in mountaineer country, so our pub will be in blue and gold, and that is not depicted in the video. So everything else is on point. So.
I was very impressed, and that's why I recommended them come, because they're new to this area. And,
Yeah.
and they're also involved. They're looking at getting into the chamber and getting involved in other activities.
Yes.
So I thought
We're
it was just
actively-
nice for them to come.
Yes, and it is a point worth mentioning that the Crossings at Morgantown is very sensitive with using local resources.
Yeah.
So when we hire a life enrichment director, she's to tap into the resources that Monongalia County has to put those activities together, whether it be an outing or whether it be an in-house activity. So I feel like the economic impact will be definitely experienced across the board. So we hope everything comes to fruition on time, and we're excited to open. October can't get here. I don't want to wish summer away, but October can't get here fast enough.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
showing
your
up.
time. I appreciate it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Do we have any correspondence? No correspondence. Do we have any unfinished business?
No, sir.
Okay, do we have any new business?
No, sir.
I was just wondering, did you want to make the announcement of the opening of the, did we do that yet?
No,
What?
no,
So that isn't being announced yet?
no.
Okay, that's not being announced yet. Okay.
Nothing like an open-ended sentence.
Yes.
Tom.
Whoop. Well, okay, seeing that, do we have any reports from elected officials, please? Okay, seeing none, Ed, I think your turn to go first.
Friday, I did make a personal visit to the Panhandle as an agricultural consultation. But Monday, the Landmark Commission met. We're interviewing interns. So I would like the public to be aware that if they do see somebody that is taking a picture from the road of your barn or of your house, which is, it is just simply to identify this for history. They're not spying on you, and we'll be happy to identify and say what they are doing and whom they are doing it for. I attended on behalf of Commission yesterday the Bridges Without Boundaries. It was the Economic Summit. I believe this is the fourth summit that they've had with Marion County, Harrison, Preston, and of course Mont County. And keynote speaker was Bill Patuto. He's the mayor of Pittsburgh. Gave a really great keynote address, particularly when you look at what he's dealing with, the expanse of the area, the amount of communities, and then getting all the individuals in the area to work and pull together for a good common cause. I think, this is a great example that we can learn from. Tonight, the Planning Commission meets. I believe that there is a public hearing, so it will be a little bit more interesting tonight, possibly, than our usual, it's always nice to be doing something at a commission meeting. So that's what I have.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Last Thursday, I had the Red Team meeting, and the Mason-Dixon Historical Park meeting at night. Friday evening, I had, after hours, I met with Bill Kowecki talked to him for a couple hours. This week, yesterday I had breakfast with Joe Statler and Ronnie Lytle from the school board. And Ronnie had an idea, and Joe, he wanted to bounce it off of DOH, so he invited Don Williams, and Don Williams attended and brought Dave McCormick with him. So it was an interesting discussion. One of the things that, and again, not to kind of, we're still working on the details, but Ronnie's idea was something similar to like Adopt a Highway, but doing a little bit more, being able to do a little bit more to help keep culverts cleaned out, where you have rainstorms and culverts get blocked, being able to, like have a company that does like Adopt a Highway and be able to take care of those areas. So it's an interesting idea, and Don asked it. That Ron just forward him a proposal in regards to what he wants to do. I also had our Monongalia County Ballpark Scheduling Committee meeting yesterday after that breakfast meeting. And then yesterday at the end of the day, I was asked by actually a partner to the shack, AECOM. They're an engineer out at, one of the engineers out at the Department of Energy, and they're a partner to the shack. So they asked me to come out and see what all they do and also talk about their bridge. So I wanted to talk to you. I've invited them to come into a work session to discuss that in more depth. The rest of the week, I apologize. I was supposed to go to the Community Leadership Academy, but I just can't make it. But I know Renetta and Colleen will be attending, so and Mike Paul is going to go in my absence. So I was looking forward to that, but it just wouldn't fit in with this week. And actually today we have the first Mont County Middle School track meet. With all this weather, we're doesn't look like we're going to be canceled. So we're finally, the kids have been practicing for over a month and a half, and now they're going to have their first, at least at the middle school, they're going to have their first track meet. So looking forward to that. And then this Thursday I have the Development Authority and the MAEP strategy planning meeting. So that's tomorrow afternoon. In general, I'd be remiss if I don't mention tonight also starts the Stanley Cup Finals, and my Penguins play Tom's Flyers, so I'm interested in some sort of friendly wager along that line.
That sounds, how about a lunch?
Yes, so
Yes.
that's...
Lunch of your choice.
Now, on a serious note, I attended the funeral of Asil Kennedy on Monday. And there isn't much I can do to talk about Asil and do his memory justice. I did meet him once. I was able to have lunch with him and Bob and Bill Bartola after I was elected. They reached out to me and wanted to have lunch with me, and it was really an informative meeting. And then one other time, Asil reached out and called me just to make me aware of something. But I was always very impressed with how he did this particular job, and I hope that all of us can strive to hold ourselves to the same ideals. But I think the paper did a really good job today with their editorial. Again, I can't say much more than it was wonderful to know him for the very short period of time I did. And again, I express my sincere sympathy to the family, and wish I'd got a chance to work with him more.
I'll have to add that, having worked with him for 30 years, we don't have the time for me to give all the Asil stories. Okay, he will be sorely missed.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think all three of us realize the loss that this county had this week with Asil. And the big memory I always have was I came to college 71 to 75, and that's when you woke up to Ask Asil. I mean, that's how you knew you got up, because he had that 7 to 7:15 block. And
Actually, it was 6:30. I have to correct you on that.
sorry, it seemed 7 to 7:15.
I know what time it was.
Yeah, he had that.
You were just getting in.
Yes, I was just getting in. I'm sorry. But no, that's what I always remembered. I mean, he was a big fixture of this county, and he's surely missed. The second thing, I attended the pedestrian meeting on Friday over at WVU, and very excited, over 125 different ideas to come up with. And I try and, three of the major ones I just want to say was educating, which would be the drivers, the pedestrians, and also the community, governments, and maybe redesigning or planning crosswalks, because, they just aren't where they should be. And then also then we had the lighting, which would be like basically when someone walked in the crosswalk, somehow lit up, and or there were signs so people knew about the crosswalk. And one thing was said was painting of the crosswalks, because you can't even see them. And the third is awareness, just basic awareness and education. And I think that was clearly the three issues that we probably could start on immediately. And the sheriff was there, and I appreciate him being there too, because it was a really eclectic group of people, and I really think we're going to get something done. So I was real pleased to be on that. The other thing is what happened on Saturday, I want to say, and I'm really excited. The Waterfront Marriott Hotel is a partner of Pantry Plus More program. They had a group of 65 vendors that were closing up, and they were school nutrition people, and they brought all this food, and they didn't know how to disperse it because they weren't allowed to bring it back to their companies. So they called me, and we were able to go down there and get almost $5,000 worth of unbelievable food. But also at the same time, they had prepared food that we couldn't handle. So after making 10 phone calls, I've learned that no one really answers the phone on these agencies on Saturdays and Sundays when this happens. So I met with, on Monday, the Family Resources Network from United Way, Beth and Jeanette, and they came up. They had a general program, but we now set in motion starting today. Basically, I call it a rapid resource system, that now they have a system that they're sending out to everyone, so that if vendors or so on have this food, they call this one number, and then they have this hotline that goes to all these other people, and within 15, 20 minutes, we'll have those individuals if they want to get the food. So therefore, we're not wasting the food. So I'm really, rapid response team is what I called it. But I really want to thank, the Waterfront for actually doing this, and I can't say enough about the Family Resource Network that has already put this in place. And we're not only talking pantries, we're talking like Caritas House, Bartlett House, Morgantown, so we could get that food, but the amount of food that we had to throw away was sickening. But now I'm just very excited, and I want to thank them. I really think it was a glitch in our system, and now all of us are going to be able to prove from it. So I'm very excited about that. Any other things? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and second. We be out of here.